Okay, you're probably wondering, how do I make money at this? How do I get paid for posting my journey on social media? I am going to have Angie explain all that because she is so amazing at this. She's been doing this for 5 years and she is one of the top coaches and she does all the training and oh my gosh, she's so inspiring and just such an amazing woman. I'm going to have her go over all that with you.
To answer everything. And one of the biggest questions that you guys had about money, which is what we're talking about today, was how do you earn it? We went over what a coach does, right? But how do they actually earn an income? How do you do this thing full time? Like how can you potentially earn? And the way that I broke this down that I figured I would share it with you guys is break it down into 3, probably 4 tiers. And the first tier is commission based. Obviously, this is the most basic way. This is what I started out with. This is what I still do. 25 to 50% commission for every single thing that is linked to you and your website. Awesome. Now the step up from that, which would be tier 2, is what happens when your customers start to love it, which happens. I have thousands of customers and over the span of 4 years, you can only imagine how many people keep going. This is called residual income. Any residual income, same thing, 25 to 50% commission off of this. But the difference is that I'm not just trading my time for money, which means I'm not only earning from 9 to 5 in the hours that I'm working or that we would traditionally work at a desk. I make money while I sleep. And that kind of turned the lights on in my head about this business. That's what really made me kind of wake up and pay attention to the opportunity. Now, when I tapped into the next level, which was really the most lucrative part about this business, and it still is to this day, it's bonuses. And not bonuses in the traditional sense, but bonuses in the sense that I earn anywhere from $500 a month to $50,000 a quarter, which I know that is insane numbers. But it's all based off of me helping my people see results, either my customers, my challengers in my challenge group, or my coaches. And the more that I can help other people achieve their dreams, that's when mine start to come true. And I loved that part about the business because it wasn't about just signing a bunch of people up and then running in the other direction. I didn't want to just be a part of something that was like an empty box of tricks. I wanted it to have meaning. And I get paid based off of the impact that I can make on someone's life. That is really cool. So that's one part that I've gotten really freaking good at, and that's how I've taken my income from. I wanted to go through this really quickly for you guys. I'm gonna post up a graphic so you can actually visually see it, but my first paycheck was $29.95. So if you're getting in this for like a quick $1 million, it's not that kind of thing. It's a traditional business. You have to work at it. So my first paycheck was $29.95. I was amped. I was super excited because I couldn't believe that I was making money off of doing something that I loved so much. A couple months after that, so 4 months after that, I made in a month $795, technically in the slowest month of the year, in September. And that's why I use September because it's my birthday month, and this will come full circle at the end because I have a story for you guys. A year later, so the next September after that, I made $5,500. The year after that, which was the biggest, we couldn't believe it. That month we made $18,792. This past September in a month we made $28,000. So to go from that first monthly income of $795 to $28,000 in a month, obviously that's the potential of this business over the span of just 4 years, which is a university time span, right? Like I went to university and yes, there's a learning curve. Yes, you have to work at it. Yes, it's traditional business, but the fact that I can earn that kind of an income, and obviously it depends on every person's skill and their effort level and how much hustle they want to put into this. And obviously people can outdo me as well, but this is just my story. I'm not a special snowflake. I'm a normal girl. Hopefully you guys know that it's never about boasting. It really is just to share the vision with you guys. Now, over and above that, there's also trips and gifts and stuff, and I think that that's really important. That's kind of like the 4th tier because that's my love language. I love traveling, and the fact that I couldn't really afford to travel whenever we first started this business. I really didn't have any money whenever I first started, and one of my big goals is to be able to travel. So to have fully paid trips for us, like my team has gone to, we went to Punta Cana last year. This year we're going to Mexico. Next year we're going to be going on a cruise together on the biggest cruise, the Harmony of the Seas. So I hope that you can be there. And we honestly, we have the best time. Like it's kind of cool that we get to work hard and play really hard too, but over and above that, I take my girls on trips as well. You guys might have seen in the cover photo on the dock, that's in Ottawa, Canada. So I fly everybody down. We stay at a Girl Boss Lake House. It's like a mansion on the lake. Super fun weekend. We went to Florida this year. We're gonna go to Chicago to see Tony Robbins. Like we have a lot of cool stuff. And then of course, we spoil them rotten with gifts because that's just how I love recognizing people that are excelling at life. You know, in a traditional 9 to 5, we don't really see that. So that's definitely a huge part of the business. Whenever I first got signed up in this and I first started my business, I remember I asked my husband that year, and this is where the September thing comes into play. I wanted to go to Disney World. We had gone to Disney World a couple of years, every single year in September, and September is my birthday month, and I said, babe, are we going to Disney World this year? And he said, we can't afford it. We can't go this year. There's no way. And he said, unless your business that you just started can pay for it, then maybe. But I could sense the doubt, and I just thought, game on. Like, that's my purpose. Like that, you know how I told you guys, like, I wanted to have that sense of purpose. I just thought, like, this is what I'm meant to do. Like, I can make this thing happen. And it wasn't really about the income. It became about the greater reason why. And my why was my family. I didn't want to watch my husband just work day in and day out to try and support both of us. I wanted to have that sense of purpose and that sense of contribution to our family and to be able to produce something. And if that meant memories for us, then amazing. So a couple months later, I remember the exact moment. We went to Disney World. It happened. We made enough money in our business to be able to go to Disney World that year. And that, to me, sealed the deal, because it wasn't about the income. It was about that I was happy. I finally felt fulfilled doing something I loved. But when I say that I remember the exact moment, is because I remember like a light switching on, that I can make this thing way bigger than I've already made it. Like, if we've afforded this memory making machine that we've created, I can build this thing to be even bigger than just affording a trip to Disney World. And for me to be able to do that just within my first year was huge. And I remember sitting on the boardwalk in Disney with my husband, and we stayed at like the Yacht Club Hotel, and we ate at all the restaurants. Like, we really splashed out. And to me, it was so special that I was able to provide that for once. And that was not the case at all. Like, my previous situation was like, I would need to ask him for help to pay my visa bills whenever we were just getting married. And it was not at all the life that I wanted. But to be able to sit there on the bench with him, and I just looked at him and I was like, we did it. We did this. Like, we are sitting here because we had a dream and we went for it and we made it happen. And, you know, all like full circle this past year, and this is, if it's possible, this is where it's very emotional for me. Whenever I talk about purpose and contributing, we had a full circle moment this past year where I joked, as a total joking moment. I said, we go to Disney World this year, and we go every year, and obviously now we can afford it. And he just said no. He's like, I love you. We can't afford it, but I can't get the time off. He's like, I am getting harassed at work about how much time I take off. They're not happy with me. I can't. I don't have any more time off to take. And I was crushed because we had worked so hard to be able to travel. It's all we wanted to do. And we couldn't. And to me, that's not freedom. If you're chained to someone else's dreams and working day in and day out at something you hate, then what's the point? And it wasn't going to happen. And I will never forget, he drove home, and for whatever reason that day I was sitting out on our front porch in our new house, and I was sitting out there with Carl. And he came out he met me on the front porch, and he said, I think I have an idea. And this was in August. We were supposed to go to Disney in September, which I thought just wasn't happening. He said, I think we can go. I think I found a way to make it happen. And I said, how? And he's like, what if I quit my job? And I totally was blindsided by that, because I didn't even think that that was like a possibility. Like, I didn't think that we could do that. Like, we still needed his income, right? He said, we don't. He's like, we're earning enough now that, especially with me working at home with you at this business, I don't have to go. But most importantly, we'll have our freedom. And to me, that was like everything. But what he doesn't know is that I feel like his health is restored, and I know how much longer he's gonna live because of this, because to watch someone go day in and day out, 5:30 in the morning to 5:30 at night every single day, you're almost slowly killing yourself and slowly killing your soul. And I saw him do that. He would come home from work and just look so tired and so exhausted and just emotionally drained. Not even just physically, just emotionally drained because of the lack of passion in what he does. And he's in the other room right now, like on conference calls with our coaches, and he's like happy as pie. We went for brunch this morning. Like, we live the life of like a retired couple. At 30 years old, I cannot even begin to express the level of gratitude that I jumped and I said yes, and even more so believed in ourselves last year and jumped again and said yes to this, because most people will never experience this for like 50 years because they'll wait and they'll work the 9 to 5 and then they'll retire. And to be able to have true freedom now, not just financially, but in every way, that to me is everything. And that's why I get emotional, because it's not just looking at where we were versus now, but also just knowing what could have been, if that makes sense. And all of this just started, I want you guys to know, because I know the question's gonna be like, okay, registration's open, like how do I get started and what you need. And I want you guys to know, like the boot camp that I talked about, that's included. The team Upper University that me and Andre created, my husband and I created, it's all included. All I want you to do is get results. Like if you're gonna help other people get results, you have to get your own results. And that all you need is just your fitness program. Like I just want you to be able to get results. So I suggest a pack. It's called a challenge pack. There's a baseline challenge pack and then there's a mega challenge pack. And they have two different prices because I know everybody has different budgets. So the basic one, which you get all of the workouts, you get the equipment that you guys see me using, as well as your shakes. You have everything that you need to start your business. That's all that I require, and that's $170. And then the step up from that, where you get your pre-workout and your post-workout as well, and that's $230. So that's all that it costs to start a business, like a legit business, where I shared the numbers with you guys. And then from there, I always like to let people know there is a monthly fee of $15, not 50. Some people always mistake what I say. $15.95 a month, and that's to host all of your websites and do all of the back work, all the stuff that you basically don't want to do. And the way that I explained to people and how I saw it was like, I just won't go to Starbucks that month a couple times. So it's really nothing big, and I assure you will far outdo that. Like I said, if I can help you help 2 to 3 people in your first month, you'll already make that all back. So that's my hope for you, and that, you know, looking forward at the people that do jump into this and do say yes, like I can't wait to be able to work with some of you. And I know that you see yourself a little bit in what I've been talking about. And if you do, and you do feel like this is a little bit of a touch of fate, that's what I saw it is. Take that leap, because honestly, you will be shocked at where you could be a year from now and looking back at this moment that changed your life.